Become a buzz phrase of late. The energy form has been touted as the alternative to hydroelectricity in the wake of climate change effects on power generation. Zimbabwe, which has been battling power shortages, is keen on massively investing in solar. But what if there is another alternative that may revolutionize the country's energy system? A United States-based Zimbabwean Chikumbutso has set up a 50-kilowatt green generator in Harare, where it is powering 10 houses.
Thrive 2 brings viewers behind the scenes with the people and innovations that have the power to transform life for everyone. And what's interesting about this documentary is they feature United States-based Zimbabwean inventor Maxwell Chikumbutso.
We are launching a documentary on a Saturday in the United States of America in California, which is called Thrive, What It Takes.
The documentary follows a journey across the globe investigating the most promising solutions in energy, health, and consciousness, while unpicking the underlying science, principles, and strategies that make them possible. One of Chikumbutso's inventions is advancing the proven ability to generate electricity from radio frequency. With this, he designed and produced the world's first ever green power generator.
I have to keep on fighting and make sure that one day everyone will have free energy.
The gifted innovator also designed and built an electric-powered vehicle, hybrid helicopter, and a drone among some of his groundbreaking innovations in the high-tech global entrepreneurial ecosystem. Recently, Chikumbutso developed a prototype automated disinfecting machine to help fight the coronavirus pandemic. But it is his green generator that will shift the way science is working and revolutionize the country's energy system. And tonight, he will be demonstrating his 50-kilowatt green generator in Harare, where it is powering 10 houses. The demonstration will be broadcast live around the world as part of this documentary, which will premiere in the United States on Saturday. Reporting for ZTN News, I'm Howard Musonza in Harare.
A warm welcome back. Taking it up now from the capital. Many thanks to Marilyn Gwenya there. In our science and technology feature, Zimbabwe made a breakthrough in the use of microsonic energy to generate electricity at a high scale. We unpack where we explore the microsonic energy device, the OR green generator invented by Maxwell Chikumbutso. Theophilus Chuma unpacks this for us.
It's an invention that has made headlines across the globe, attracting the attention of major scientific brains in the United States of America. The green generator, an invention designed and constructed by Zimbabwean inventor Maxwell Chikumbutso, is the first of its kind, using radio frequency to generate electricity at high scale.
So we harness radio frequencies. These are natural radio frequencies that we harness. Then we convert it through the components that are in the microsonic energy device. Like I said before, 70% of the components inside this device are tailor-made. You cannot get them anywhere in the world. The current comes out as a DC current. It goes to the down converter and the DC controller. Then from there, the computer does the work. The microcontroller fine adjusts and it tells the microsonic energy device what voltage has to go to the inverter. Then on the inverter side, that is the component that we use, the part that we use to change the current to alternating current. This is the current that powers all the lights that is used everywhere. So from the inverter, we have got the step-up transformer to say, which is an AVR. This is the bottom part. It's air-cooled.
Decades ago, one great scientist, Nikola Tesla, attempted the same innovation, but faced hurdles. Maxwell has become the first person in living history to make a major breakthrough, and for his efforts, American firms are featuring his invention on a documentary that is celebrating this great mind.
We believe that we didn't violate the second law of energy in thermodynamics, but we have managed to make a new discovery, new formulas of maths. How that law is still working, but what we have done, we have managed to refine through the machine. As you can see, as small as it is, we can power everything, but we are not damaging anything.
The green generator may very well become the answer to power challenges facing not only Zimbabwe, but other nations across Africa and beyond. Maxwell is already planning to utilize his invention to benefit rural communities in Zimbabwe.
We'll give the blueprints for free. We'll identify the communities, the people who can do so that we can just provide them with the skill, and they can design, they can construct their own machines and use. But we are looking at those who are disadvantaged.
Amazingly, Maxwell never trained formally in electronics or engineering.
A brief trip into the future with inventor Maxwell Chikumbutso. He's claiming a scientific breakthrough with this green energy technology, an electric car which he says converts radio frequencies into energy.
The powertrain, we did it in-house, which makes it the first electric vehicle in the world that drives without needing recharging systems. On the greener power off-grid machine, it's very unique. For the first time, energy is being generated using a radio frequency and without moving paths.
Chikumbutso is not the typical scientist. He dropped out of school aged 14 and says he's developed his blueprints through research and visions from God. A showroom in Harare showcases his prototypes. A helicopter that operates using any one of the 5 fuels, including paraffin, a drone and a household transformer that he says can multiply power 100-fold. But he says breaking his disruptive technology into the world has not been easy. He's failed to patent his work.
That's why we end up finding nuclear scientists, electromagnetic professors, so that they can assist us on the patent process. But as you are aware that in patents, anything that violates the laws of physics is not an industrial applicable solution. They classify it as a perpetual motion device.
Luis Kupenala, a South African-based Angolan businessman, has poured millions into the project, but now believes it's time to commercialize. He says the Angolan government and a Brazil private energy player have signed up to buy some of their products, but that other investors don't generally believe anything credible can come out of Africa.
We just sell from our skin color. We don't believe on ourselves. But obviously, a new generation has another responsibility to change this kind of paradigm to another level, whereby we have to capitalize on our abilities in Africa.
Zimbabwean scientists who spoke to the SABC also expressed skepticism, but Chikumbutso brushes the naysayers aside. He says he's determined to ensure that his God-given gift brings energy to light up the continent and put Zimbabwe on the technological map. Shingai Nyoka, SABC News, Harare, Zimbabwe.
Galaxies and the cosmos itself, like the magnet on your refrigerator, are open systems. The successful devices we are seeing are specifically designed as open, not isolated systems. So the limitations of the first law don't apply when it comes to accessing energy from one realm to another. I learned about a young man in Africa who claimed to have built a car, a generator, and even a helicopter that ran on radio frequencies, a true free energy device that keeps batteries consistently charged. It took me several months to find him, but when I did, it blew my mind. This time we took engineer Nils Rognerud to assist with the vetting. When Nils and I arrived and met Maxwell, I was very impressed with just what a gentle, true-seeming soul he was. And then the next morning, we went to see the device, and he gave us a full tour. I was practically ecstatic. It was such a beautiful, elegant device.
What we're looking at is called the green power off-grid machine. It is 0.5 megawatts, and we are relying with the radio frequency. We harness a radio frequency, convert it into pure energy that is useful. It is called a microsonic energy device. A microsonic energy device, it is the generator in this machine.
For people who are not familiar with this, 0.5 megawatt, how much will that power in terms of a house or a community or what?
We're talking of about 300 standard households, yeah,
okay,
that you can power with one machine.
So there's no oil burning, there's no fires going on or anything. So where's the energy coming from?
We're harnessing it straight away from the natural energy that God has just put in the earth, on our earth. Yeah, the radio frequency.
So nothing unusual, but the main point is that a meter away there's no frequencies being transmitted from a microwave tower next to the park we're standing in.
It's a poignant day for us here, and amidst the excitement of seeing this for the first time, a couple of strangers showed up on the site where we were being shown these devices, and Maxwell, the inventor, took us aside as soon as he could and said, "These guys are from the government, and I didn't know they were coming." Unfortunately, we're truly concerned about this gentleman, and we're just going to take every precaution that we can to keep ourselves safe, to keep him safe, and to keep this knowledge safe.
The microphone we had on Maxwell picked up the conversation that he had with one of the officials. So we quickly got the tape translated and found out that the government official was promising Maxwell a power purchase agreement where the government would pay him for generating energy for the country. It was good corroboration that they believed he had what he claimed, although Maxwell didn't trust him because the government had already put him in prison in an effort to steal his technology.
Big Blue started at 4:36 p.m. We're here with Maxwell, and the test is starting.
Once we arrived on site, our goal for the vetting was to establish that the device could power a welding machine, which uses a lot of electricity very quickly, for long enough that it couldn't be running on batteries alone.
So you were asking where the energy came from. You mentioned the other day the sun, but it's not like solar energy.
No,
right?
It's not. We're not using solar energy because this one is not even affected with clouds, light, and things like that. It just works.
So the energy, the radio frequencies that you're harnessing, are they there in space, in the field all the time?
Yes, they are. From the first day we started to test the machine, we have been analyzing and we saw that the radio frequency is there. But one thing that we want to know for sure is it alien or is it man-made from another planet or is it from God? That's where we need, I think, scientific people to define exactly. But we know the radio frequency, we have everything.
If it's still a fully charged battery, the test is successful.
It's not screws.
Oh, that's 217.
0.9.
That's perfect.
We get it.
So that's the 18 battery.
Yeah, that's the 18 batteries.
Okay. So that's higher than the nominal voltage.
Dude! Wow!
Thank you so much.
That is awesome.
That's 18 4-volt batteries. So it has higher voltage.
Thank you.
Give us 2 thumbs up.
Thank you so much.
One final check of the battery voltage revealed a shocking result. Not only had the machine outlasted the expected battery life, but the batteries were still fully charged. This proved that the device was being powered from an unknown energy source.
Thank you.
This is one of the happiest days of my life, and I am so proud of this man who has gone through so much. He's listened to the voice of the divine coming through him, and he's done whatever it takes to bring this through for humanity. So congratulations, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Ah. Now we're going to get you well.
The test we did yesterday is historic. I still am digesting it because it basically means the end of fossil fuels.
One of the painful realities I have seen in energy is this is a very dangerous game altogether. Yeah, especially free energy, because as they said, if they can try to kill it using professional people, and that has happened to me. I went through a lot, poisons, like I'm saying right now. I'm fighting it. They come to you, then they said, no, you mustn't do this. When they see that you're not giving up, then they can just frame you. Then they can say, no, you have done ABC. My prayer is this thing must see the light of the day.
Oh, thank you very much. The electric vehicle invention, it is an invention that we took from the greener power of grid machine. The greener power of grid machine is the machine that birthed the microsonic energy device invention. Later on, we felt that since now we have got a perpetual generator, why can't we borrow the technology and integrate it into a vehicle, then see how the vehicle operates. That was the birth of the electric vehicle. That became the first electric vehicle in the world that doesn't need any external recharging. Meaning to say it is like a moving generator. You can take it to your rural area, then you can even draw energy from the vehicle to power your house. Unlike what is happening in the electric vehicles which are there, where you have to connect it to your house to recharge the batteries overnight. But the electric vehicle is a different technology altogether. We are using radio frequencies. So the electric vehicle and the greener power of grid machine, they share the same common invention, which is called microsonic energy device, a device that harnesses radio frequencies and change it into direct energy. But that is useful.
What does perpetual energy mean and involve?
Okay, I think in a simple language, perpetual motion, it means something that keeps on running. There are a number of perpetual motion energy devices. Okay, let me try to break it down. According to the Intellectual Property Office, a perpetual motion device, it is a device that uses any type of energy for a certain period of time. That's how they classify them. When we look at the greener power of grid machine, they tried to classify it under the perpetual motion energy device, but we later saw that it doesn't fall under, because a lot of perpetual energy devices that are there, they've got a certain time they will work, and usually they use much energy to generate less energy. That's why they were known as unconventional energy solutions that cannot be used even to power big things. The greener power of grid machine does it in a different way. This is the first technology of its kind that uses less energy to generate huge energy. Therefore, we are deemed as violating the second law of energy in thermodynamics. As we were taught at school that energy is directly proportional. If you need 2, you have to put 2. The greener power of grid machine doesn't work in such a way. That's why we have said we have discovered new formulas, being both in maths and in physics, on how best we can explain energy.
And maybe now that we're talking about that machine, I want you to delve into it, what we saw you launch on Friday. What is that machine and what can it do?
Okay, that machine, we gave it a name, greener power of grid machine. The name greener, it came because the technology is green energy. No emissions, no consumables, nothing is dangerous on the machine, because what we're simply doing is we're harnessing a radio frequency, natural radio frequency, converted into energy. Therefore, we're not even producing anything that is toxic or dangerous to humans. A greener power of grid machine, it is a
a breakthrough to science to say. When it was launched on Saturday, the Thrive team in the United States of America, we met them sometime last year but one, and they sent their scientists from the United States of America to come and validate, to do some tests to see if the machine it is working, it is doing what we said it was doing. After that, they gave us a scientific report which stated that the technology was novel and it was genuine. Later on, they decided to do a documentary. They decided that I must feature in their documentary, Thrive 2, what it takes. Then it was launched last Saturday. So this is the first time in the world to have such kind of a technology that work in such a way. Our machine, the one that we demonstrated, it is a 50 kilowatts, 50 kW to say. That means it is capable of generating 50,000 watts. That energy can power about 10 houses, high density houses in Zimbabwe, according to ZESA. If we allocate 5 kilowatts per each house, and we are looking at around 320 amps per hour, which is huge electricity to say. Before that machine, we did a 500 kilowatt, which is half a megawatt. When we say you have done a half a megawatt from a radio frequency, it doesn't make sense. But when we demonstrated the machine, people, they saw that surely the machine is working, because a half a megawatt can power around plus or minus 200 houses. So you can see what it does from a radio frequency. That's why I said we have made new discoveries that will now have to go hand in hand with the natural laws of physics, also the law of energy in thermodynamics.
And looking at radio frequencies, when people, the ordinary person wants to know, what's this radio frequency that you are harnessing, where does it come from, and is it not finite? Will we not have this machine and one day not have radio frequencies to harness?
You know, when God created the earth, he put some electromagnetic frequencies as they are better known. I think if you had a number of guys from NASA, when they are going to the moon, they've got a challenge of passing through some microwave frequency energy. So we are taking what God has created. Unfortunately, we have classified the frequency, the particular frequency that we are using for some security reasons. As you know, that we failed to file a patent because they said we are violating the laws of physics, so it's not industrial applicable. Because of that, we went the trade secret route, where we took some pieces of the machine and classified them as trade secrets, just like what Coca-Cola did.
And you know, this is interesting. People will look at you as a disruptor. You are disruptive in this world, and of course that's what you're talking about when you speak of issues like violating existing laws. And just a bit about you. Who are you, and what did you study? Because people think this is sophisticated material you're talking about. Who is this guy? Who is the man? What did he study? Where did he study?
Thank you for that question. I was born in a very poor family. I did not manage to complete my education. I left school when I was Form 2 second term due to some financial difficulties. I was raised by a single parent, my mom. Later after, I discovered that there was something in me. I started to see visions, and up to until now, I see visions, very clear visions, not even when I'm not asleep. Those are some of the things that I see. And God started to teach me. I believe God started to teach me. I could hear voices. I started to experiment with some electronic components. No one ever taught me what were the names and the uses of electronic components. It was God. My first breakthrough was in 1999 when I did the first radio broadcasting transmitter in Kwadzana. It made the headlines on both the national television, news, and also some radio stations. After that, God kept on giving me ideas. Then I did digital navigation facilitator, which was the first challenging technology. It's a machine which is used to facilitate landing of aircrafts.
It calculates where the runway is, how fast is the plane coming to land, which side does it must it have to maneuver to. So it was a challenging technology. I had to learn things like the Doppler effects. How do you use a radio frequency in measuring distance? Those are some of the things that I use in GPSs. Later on, I did my first turbine engine, which was, I took it to the Air Force of Zimbabwe and the Civil Aviation Technical Training Center. Years later, God gave me the vision of the greener power off-grid machine. 2009, I completed the first working prototype, which was a 1,200 watts. Later on, I founded a company with Saith Wazara, who was the group CEO for Econet. Then we started to design big machines. 2013.
There's a helicopter there somewhere.
Yes.
There are drones there somewhere. Tell us about those.
Yes. Years later, I think in 2013, that's where I started. I founded my company, Saith Technologies. Along the way, we did a drone, the first autonomous drone. We are the first people to have done a drone in Zimbabwe and program it. We did a helicopter, the first successful helicopter that flies again in Zimbabwe, using materials such as carbon fiber, alloy materials, both in aluminum and stainless steels, titanium. The electric vehicle, 2015. Yeah, so those are some of the things that we have done, some of the projects that we might want to call successful projects. Yeah.
Before there was electricity, there was fire. But it proved to be a little unconventional. So we built nuclear power plants and pushed green initiatives. But they're proving to be unsustainable. What if there was a way to get clean, reliable energy with all of the benefits and none of the consequences? Introducing Saith's new greener power machine. Turn it on, and it'll take care of the rest. With no emissions and no fuel, some say it defies the laws of physics. But we say it is the next generation of energy. Pure, reliable, clean, with the power to light up entire communities. And this is how it sounds. Saith, go change the world.